All my pregnant mamas dealing with back and hip pain, this workout is for you. First thing we'll do is the thigh press. So go ahead and lay on your back, rotate that pelvis, get in a nice neutral position. I want you to brace your core. So good 360 breath to TVA engagement. Embrace it throughout this entire move. You're going to press your hand in and up into your thigh while your knee is pressing into your hand. You can also do this with two legs for more challenge. And if lying on your back bothers you, you can always go to your side. Next up is a weighted glute bridge with the weight over your chest. Now you want to make sure that you keep your pelvis in a neutral alignment. It doesn't rock back and forth, and that you keep your core engaged. You're pushing through your heels and make sure that you are not overarching in that back. Next is a side plank lift. So you're going to have your hand or your elbow underneath your shoulders. Make sure your hips are stacked. Do a good 360 to TVA breath work. Embrace that core. Lift up and down, really engaging through your obliques and keeping that brace throughout the entire move. If this is too much, you can go to stacking your knees for a modification. Next is a floor hinge. Make sure that you are bracing that core throughout this entire move, and you're aiming for like a little small step stool behind you, not touching your heels, trying to get your chest over the ground as much as you possibly can. Next is a quad TVA with pelvic tilt. So you're doing a good 360 breath, TVA core engagement with a pelvic tilt as well. Up next is a tripod row. Make sure that you're bringing your shoulder blade back towards that spine, squeezing it. And as you bring the weight down, press into the ground and then row back up. Make sure that your core is nice and engaged. Next is bird dog. So make sure that your core is engaged here. If this is too much with lifting, just go ahead and tap your hands and feet out instead of lifting them up. Coming up next are sit back. So you want to make sure that you get a good, nice wide position with those knees. As you sit back, you're inhaling and then you're exhaling when you come up. This is so good for the pelvic floor and will release a lot of tension, which will help with the low back and hips. Next, we're going to thread. This is a good mobility for that upper back, which does impact your low back and hips as well. So you're going to bring one arm underneath and try to tap down that shoulder if you're able to. If not, totally okay. Go with what your body allows you to do. Lastly will be the hip 90-90. You want to make sure that you have a 90-degree angle at your hips and at your knees, and you're going to lead with your chest going down into the stretch. Try not to lean out to the side here. And with every exhale, see if you can get a little bit lower. Then you're going to gently go to the side. If this is way too much, go back to that front stretch and just do that for a little bit longer.